Antarctica, a frozen wasteland, the coldest place on Earth, home to no permanent population and countless secrets buried beneath miles of ancient ice. But in 2006, a radar scan lit up. Deep below the ice sheet, something massive, unnatural, structured. And then, as scientists prepared to go public, the data feed stopped. What they found beneath Antarctica could rewrite everything we know about human history. And maybe as what isn't human at all. This is not conspiracy. This is documented science. And you've just opened another chamber in the Vault of Secrets. It started with ice-penetrating radar. As part of an international glaciology study, researchers from the British Antarctic Survey and NASA used satellites and ground-based sensors to map the topography beneath the Antarctic ice sheet. Everything was routine until it wasn't. One pass revealed a radar anomaly near Lake Vostok, one of the world's largest subglacial lakes. But it wasn't a lake. It was geometric. It returned shapes, angles, echoes that suggested walls and hollow chambers. One researcher described the scan in their notes as like bouncing radar off a skyscraper buried upside down. Lake Vostok is a natural enigma. It's been sealed beneath over 2 miles of ice for more than 15 million years. It exists in total darkness, under immense pressure, with no contact with Earth's surface. And yet, it appears to host microbial life. Life that evolved in complete isolation. In 2012, Russian scientists drilled into the lake. Publicly, they claimed to have retrieved a sterile water sample. Privately, an anonymous whistleblower posted on encrypted forums that the team encountered biological anomalies and metallic fragments in the ice core. The post was deleted within 48 hours. In 2016, NASA launched IceSat-2, designed to measure ice sheet elevation. But within weeks of approaching Lake Vostok's coordinates, something bizarre happened. The satellite went silent for 36 minutes. NASA blamed solar interference. But satellite logs leaked to WikiLeaks showed a mysterious power spike and unexplained data deletion during that window. All telemetry linked to grid cell A379, the exact subzone over the radar anomaly, was wiped. Even backup ground stations received nothing. In 2018, using publicly released elevation data from IceSat-2, civilian analysts recreated a three-dimensional topography of the Vostok anomaly. What they found, well, it stunned even the most hardened skeptics. There was a rectangular basin, nearly 14 miles wide. Symmetrical channels led toward a central void, and there were repeating patterns in elevation that resembled pillars or arches. It looked constructed, too large for natural caves, and honestly too structured for geological randomness. One scientist from the European Space Agency described it, off record of course, as something you'd expect under the sands of Egypt, not the ice of Antarctica. In 2019, NASA's Operation IceBridge sent manned aircraft over Lake Vostok with ground-penetrating LiDAR. For a brief window, raw radar images were accidentally streamed to a public FTP. Within hours, they were pulled. But not before a Reddit user captured screenshots showing rectilinear formations, magnetic interference lines, and what appeared to be a circular depression with radial spokes. A circular depression, like a hatch. The area is now classified as Zone Black by the US Geological Survey. No further flights are permitted without Joint Intelligence Command approval. There's a reason the Vostok region was already on scientists' radar before any of this. Back in the 1970s, Soviet researchers discovered a magnetic anomaly, the strongest in the southern hemisphere. The magnetic reading was so strong it interfered with aircraft navigation. Geologists speculated it could be due to metallic ore beneath the ice. But the readings don't match ore. They spike, then vanish, like a device activating and shutting down. And here's the kicker. This device sits precisely beneath the radar anomaly. Coincidence or a signal? In 1513, Ottoman Admiral Piri Reis created a map of the world. It was, honestly, centuries ahead of its time, showing accurate coastlines of South America and an ice-free Antarctica. The problem is, Antarctica wasn't discovered until 1820. Modern cartographers confirmed the map aligns with subglacial scans of the continent's pre-ice coastline, but how could a 16th century mapmaker know that? Some believe the source maps used by Piri Reis came from a lost civilization. Others, well, they think someone gave them to him, someone not from this world. During World War II, Nazi Germany launched expeditions to Antarctica, establishing a claimed territory called New Swabia. Declassified British intelligence reports suggest they were searching for entrances to hollow Earth. Sound absurd? In 1947, the US launched Operation High Jump, a military expedition of 4,700 men, aircraft carriers and destroyers, to Antarctica, officially training, unofficially. Survivors reported encounters with aircraft that defied known physics, silent, disc-shaped, with no visible propulsion. The mission was cut short. One admiral, in his journal, called it the last place on Earth that man should go alone. In 2020, a documentary crew filming near the Vostok station reported hearing mechanical hums from deep within the glacier. Their mics picked up ultra-low frequency vibrations, almost rhythmic, really. When analysed, the waveform resembled those produced by sonar systems, but there were no ships nearby, no seismic activity, and when they returned to the same spot days later, the sound was gone, as if it had moved or gone back to sleep. In the last decade, 5 researchers who worked on Vostok-related scans have either gone missing or died under mysterious circumstances. One vanished during a solo trek to base camp. Another was found frozen outside his tent, and oddly enough, he had no exposure gear on. A third sent an encrypted email saying, "It's not a lake, it's a door," and then, just like that, vanished. All investigations were closed, citing environmental hazards. But the families, well, they weren't given access to the final reports, and their data never released. So what lies beneath? Theories abound. Some say it's a prehistoric city, older than any human civilization. Others whisper about a crashed vessel, buried millennia ago. There are those who believe it's a containment vault holding something best left sealed. But, the most disturbing theory? That it isn't a relic, it's still active. And the structure beneath Lake Vostok is not empty. In late 2023, a drone designed for borehole exploration briefly streamed data from a new Russian probe. The feed lasted just 7 seconds before cutting out. In those 7 seconds, there was a flash of metal reflecting ice-light, grid lines, like paneling and a shape moving in the darkness. Then, black. The Russian government denied the feed's authenticity, but digital forensics confirmed it came from an IP assigned to Vostok station. The drone has not been recovered. Whatever it saw remains below, waiting. The ice keeps its secrets, but sometimes they echo back through radar, through whispers, through forgotten maps and vanishing teams. Antarctica has always been remote, but maybe that's by design. Maybe it was never meant to be found. You've just unlocked another chamber in the Vault of Secrets. Next time you see a frozen horizon, ask yourself what lies beneath and why don't they want us to see it?